And I think the Flash is one of the best entries into, you know, the multiverse trend. And it's crazy that we live in a time that the DC, I think, has a better multiversal movie than the MCU. I think this movie was better than No Way Home. And I know a lot of people are going to complain about me saying that as well, but I also think we've reached a breaking point with No Way Home. I think we've reached a breaking point because I've said this before. Listen, I love No Way Home. It's a fun movie. I love going back to it. But the truth is, and I love The Dark Knight too, and The Dark Knight suffers from this as well. There are kind of like cheap gimmicks that a lot of people overrate a movie on. And yes, it fit into No Way Home with the cameos. But the truth is that a lot of people, I think, overrate No Way Home because of the cameos. You know, people were so excited to see Toby and Andrew. I get it. I was too. But the truth is that made people overhype the movie. I think Dark Knight, Heath Ledger dying, made people overrate Heath Ledger. And, you know, I think we're at a time where people are starting to move away from the awe that was the after effect of No Way Home. People are revisiting it. They're like, okay, listen, it's a great movie. I don't know if it's as good as I originally said. I think The Flash is going to stand the test of time. I think people are going to watch this movie and they're going to, you know, 2-3 years down the line from now, they're going to be like, yeah, that shit was really hard, man. That was a really good movie. Andy Muschietti took big risks. Ezra Miller delivered on The Flash. And, you know, obviously we have to talk about the fact that most fans, not most fans, but it would seem most people on Twitter are hating on this movie unfairly. And you know what? I don't think they've seen the movie. I don't buy it. You know why I don't buy it? Like I said last week, DC fans on Twitter have big mouths and small wallets. And if all the people that are saying The Flash was a shitty movie saw The Flash would have done 100 mil, not 55.
I agree. And as I said, man, it's funny because a lot of people want to you know, be Andrew Garfield Avengers and stand for TASM. But let's not remember that when TASM 2 came out, we all hated it. Everyone hated the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Everyone hated Spider-Man 3. But now all of a sudden everyone wants to cape for TASM 2 when people use this is the best, one of the greatest Spider-Man movies of all time. When it first came out, no one liked TASM. And it's going to be hilarious when this movie is released digitally, sit down and actually watch the movie from a practical standpoint and not from any other narrative of Zack Snyder or whatever. They're going to be like, yo, this movie is amazing. And we're going to be laughing 2-3 years from now when it's freaking talked about. But
you won't be able to find them. You won't be able to find them.
I agree.
The same way you can't find the people that hated on Robert Pattinson being casted as Batman. You can't find those people today.
Exactly, man. And with DC, it's a common denominator because and this is why I respect Star Wars fans more than any other fandom, because even though the people hated Star Wars, the freaking sequel trilogy, everyone that trashed on it at least watched it. They at least went to go see the movie. And as a comic book fan, right, I feel that, like, as a fan of comic book movies and comic books and you know, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, all that, I feel like I'm going against my fandom when I don't go and support those films. And this is all I'm saying, right? If you want to trash the Flash, like, cool, like I will debate you, whatever. But at least watch the freaking movie, bro. Like a lot of people have a lot of comments about the Flash and haven't seen the movie. And like, for example, Venture, right? Venture thinks that the Flash is mid. I have no problem with him thinking that. But you know why? Because bro saw the movie. You know what I mean? So that's just where, like, my shows. I can't stand when people give opinions, but they haven't experienced it. If the Flash isn't your cup of tea, that's totally fine. Now I think that the Flash handled the multiverse in a very simple way. I think it was more understandable than Multiverse of Madness. And people love talking about No Way Home, bro. We don't even know how Spider-Man and them got there. It was just mad random, you know, the way that the way that that happened, it wasn't even explained. Like with the Flash, the multiverse was explained in a very simple way. I think a lot of people, I think where a lot of people's problems stem from is the VFX issues, and Andy lied. Like I think it's cap when he said that we are supposed to view them that way. I think that was just an excuse because I think that Warner Bros. Just left off of the film after all of the Ezra stuff